I receive messages every single day from people who've had issues with their stimulus payment. It's not the right amount. They have various questions that there simply aren't answers to, and there's no one to call. Well, I have great news for all of you people. The IRS has announced that they'll be adding 3,500 phone representatives specifically to answer stimulus check related questions. This is an awesome update regarding the IRS and getting some things done. So in this video, I'm going to go over when you should and when you shouldn't call, and I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions that I get, so hopefully I can save some of you some time waiting on hold, because I can only imagine these hold times are going to be wild. Oh, and if you need the number, it's going to be in the description of this video, so you can check that out if you need the number. So how will this hotline work? Well, if you call, first you're going to receive an automated message, and they state that this automated message should answer most people's questions. So what that means to me is I would plan to wait several minutes through this message for it to run through. Maybe it will answer your questions, but I imagine it's going to be pretty long in attempt to weed people out. Because they have, 3,500 people is a lot, but I can only imagine the thousands of people who's going to be calling in. After that message, you'll finally be directed to a representative who can answer your questions. So, just as an overview, here are some of the most common reasons why your payment may have been smaller than you expected. This might save you a call. The number one reason being your 2019 return has not been received or processed yet. In this case, the IRS will go off your 2018 return, and this may not reflect your most up-to-date life events like additional dependents or a change in income level that won't be reflected if your most recent return hasn't been processed yet. If this is the case, like if you earned more in 2018 than you did in 2019, your payment might be lower than expected. There's a million different ways to work that on how your payment could be changed because of that. Next reason is your claimed dependents were 17 or older in the 2019 tax year. I think just about everyone knows this, but however, this counts for child dependents over 17 and adult dependents. I'm just doing a brief overview here. Next, you may have had past due child support deducted from your stimulus payment. However, if this happened, the Bureau of Fiscal Service will send you a notice, so you should know if that happens. And then finally, banks or other creditors may have garnished the payment. However, if this happens, you should be able to tell by looking at your account details, and you should know. So those are some of the most common reasons, according to the IRS, why your payment might be lower than expected. If you want more information on that, I have an in-depth video that goes over all of those with more specific examples. You can check that out on my channel. In all of these cases, make sure you keep record of your payment that you did receive and the notice you'll eventually get in the mail from the IRS, because you'll be able to receive any amount due that you haven't received on your 2020 tax return. So finally, let's finish off with some frequently asked questions. So hopefully, again, I can save you guys some time on the phone with the IRS. The first question being, many people ask me every single day. They say they received some form of Social Security benefits like SSI or SSDI and still have not received their payment. If that is the case for you, if you have not received your payment yet, the best thing you can do at this point is just be patient. I know that isn't really a satisfying answer, but that's what the IRS rep is going to tell you. There's no point in waiting on hold for half hour or however long it's going to be just for them to tell you the same thing. But what I can say is last week there was a notice that Social Security recipients, if you haven't received your payment already, you should be receiving it very soon. They said payments are being sent out. So if you haven't received it, you should be getting it basically any day. And also, if you are a beneficiary of one of those programs, you should receive that payment in the same account you normally receive your monthly benefits. So another question I get is, I had a child in 2020, how do I get the $500 dependent credit? Well, the only way to really get this is by filing for it on your 2020 taxes, and you'll get a credit for the $500. And as a side note here, if parents are not joint filers, only one parent will be able to file for the $500 credit in 2020. However, now this is pretty crazy news. This is directly from the IRS guidance. I couldn't actually believe it when I read it. If parents don't file jointly and they somehow both already received their $500 per dependent payment, like let's say two parents who file separately as single filers. They have one child together. They both received a $500 payment. The IRS says you can actually keep that payment. Both parents can. That was really surprising because in a lot of other situations, they're telling people that you should send the payments back. So if that's the case for you, go ahead and keep the payment. The IRS says it's totally okay. That's pretty awesome, actually. So there are many, many more frequently asked questions directly on the IRS's website. I'm not going to make this video 40 minutes long by going over every single one. However, I will have that linked in the description, and honestly, that should answer like just about every single question. It breaks everything down. So I'd recommend taking a look at that before you call, because again, I can't imagine what the wait times are going to be like. So that's all I have for this short and sweet video. Until next time, I'd like to personally thank you for watching, and I hope you have a profitable day.